Hi everyone, welcome to my first time doing a maker mashup. I am playing along this month, but next month I'm one of the two participants. This is done by Clover and Crown. I think I got that right. Each month, and she chooses a person, another designer, to participate with her, and then others can play along. So this month she is participating formally with Tapping Flamingo, Bohemian Hippie, I think is her name, and you probably all recognize her. I'll try and put the links to both their channels down below. And what they do is, for the Bargain Bead Box for the month, this is for July, they both choose 4 items, and then they make with 8 items, 4 that each of them chooses. So this time they chose from the July Bargain Bead Box number 2, which is the 15-inch strand 6mm blue goldstone round beads. I've used all of mine in this. Number 4, 6-piece 9 by 15 millimeter glazed porcelain beads, which were these. I've used 3 out of the 6. Number 5, the 2 toggle clasp, but without the charms. I used them both. I have the 2 charms. Number 8, the 10-gram bag of 10mm floral links. I had 19. I have 11 left, so I did use 8 of them. Number 11, the 100-piece, and I didn't count these to make sure I have 100, but I have a lot left, and I didn't count what I have left. I did use some, though. Okay, number 16 is the 90-piece strand 4mm crystal bicone beads topaz. I have 30 out of 90 left. And number 17, the 90-piece strand 4mm crystal bicone beads sapphire. I have 50 left out of 90. And lastly, the number 18, 20-piece 8mm crystal barrel beads pale steel blue shimmer, and I have 11 out of 20 left. So I created several different sets, and I'll show them to you. And I did bring in some of my own personal things. I'm just going to uncover everything and then I'll walk you through. So the first piece I made was this necklace on leather cord, green leather cord. I thought it went beautifully with this teal porcelain, and I did use 2 of the silver balls, but they're hidden by the topaz. And I used a piece of 20 gauge wire to run it through and to wire wrap beads onto this on the top, bottom, and across the front. I did not want any to go across the back because I wanted it to lay flat when you're wearing it. And then on the bottom I just put, these are the topaz bicones, the steel spacers, and then I did use in 2 pieces, I think. These crystal rondelles were not from this month's kit, but they were from the March 2021 kit, and they were the teal champagne rondelles. Well, I hadn't used much of that kit, so there you have it. Now here, these were not one of the things they picked, and I don't blame them. They were what they called crimp tubes, 3mm. No, these are not crimp tubes. I mean, they do flatten, but there's no way, if you try and bend them like you would a normal crimp, and they're staying put on this leather, but look how big they are. And I just did that to try and keep this piece from sliding around on the cord as much, but it goes over it. I did try crimping them just as a test. You know how you would turn it after you crimp it? No, they don't work. They get all mushy. Use them as spacer beads, don't use them as crimps. And they were number where is it, 13. And then this whole set here is from Beading. I'll show you the container. I had just gotten it not long ago, It comes in 2 sets of loop, crimp, and lobster clasp set. So it has a lobster claw, 2 of the crimp ends, and 2 jump rings. And all you do is, this is 2mm leather. You just put this, and these fit 2mm leather. You just put this over your leather, and then this middle section here, you take the point of your pliers and crimp it down on both sides, and it's on really securely. So you don't have to use glue. I did not use glue because I tend to make a mess when I use glue. So that was the first piece I made. And then to go with that, I have these dangly earrings, the same dangles as on the bottom of the bead here. But I used another of these teal champagne and some steel spacer beads. And these are on the silver finished steel ear wires as well. Okay, so then the next piece I made was this one, and it's an asymmetrical, slightly asymmetrical front clasp. Here's the top, one of the 2 toggle clasps, and these are a good many of the goldstone beads. I used 3 of the flower links on each side, and I used 3 of the steel blue, like these, on each side, and these are all just wire wrapped links. I wire wrapped directly onto the flower links or directly onto each other, and then towards the back of the necklace here, I just used the goldstone, silver goldstone links. Now this is only about a 20 inch. This is 18 inch. This is about a 20 inch, roughly 19, 20, something like that. And it does open in the front. Now you could choose to open it in the back. It would still be asymmetrical though, because if you put this in the back, these items are not going to line up exactly. So I liked it better with the clasp in the front. That's what I meant it to do. And I could have made it longer, but I wanted to use some of the goldstone beads for another piece. So I just made the earrings to match: goldstone, the steel blue, the flower link, and I did use in some of this, in this one, just on the earrings here, I did use 2 of the jump rings on each earring, so 4 that came in the box, even though they were not one of the selected items. Those were number 10. So I figured, why bother getting my own jump rings out when we got some in the box. All right. So then the next piece I made was this. This is called a flat spiral weave, and I used goldstone down the middle. I used between this and the earrings, I used all the remaining goldstone, and I used quite a few of the blue sapphire bicones, and then I did just bring in some black these Toho treasure beads from Blue Moon Beads. I hate these containers. I just hate them because they're not really a tube. They're a fake tube with a paper back, right? Cardboard back. So I used about half of this 5-gram tube, or 2.5 grams roughly, between the bracelet, which I have a 6.5 inch wrist, and it fits me just right. And this is a really easy weave. Doesn't take long to do, but I think it turned out gorgeous. And then of course these are the earrings, once I fix that one, which are the same basic design as in the bracelet, which is you do 5 seed beads, a bicone, 5 seed beads, and then go back up through your bead here. So same design on each side, and I thought that came out cute. Now I did use 26 gauge wire rather than thread to make those, and those were the last 2. In fact, when I was making this, I actually it's a little short. I didn't have enough of the goldstone. I really needed like 25, and I think I have 21 on here. I really could have had these 2, which are slightly different sizes anyway, but I didn't know I had them. They were buried under like a bead mat, and that I had on top of my other bead mat. And here you can maybe see better the 5 seed beads right here. You can see it. 5 seed beads, a bicone, and 5 seed beads. So what I did is I just put 3 more bicones on either end. I did have to tie off thread at one end, and I think it was this end actually, and it worked out just fine because I put on like another arm span length, wingspan, whatever you call it, which ended up going back up through. I ended up doing reinforcing this 3 times on each end, and I did go all the way back down through the beads. This had my stopper bead, so I tied off down there, and then again I reinforced this 3 times as well, and it just fits me perfectly as a 6.5 inch wrist. So that is what finished my blue goldstone. So then last month on her end of month video, I think it was, for all the jewelry pieces she made, my friend Kim from Metal Scrappin' Chick here on YouTube, who I think is also playing along this month and was part of the Maker Mashup last month, she did earrings that had, I think they just had these, what are they called? Head pin links. Really easy to do. And then I was watching another video from, I think it's Susan Thomas, is it? At Jewel School. And she shared a necklace made like that. So I had these paddle head pins. I've had them for years. They were from Fire Mountain. Here they are. Here's the number. They come in a, well, they might come in a smaller pack, but I had bought a pack of like 480 of them. 2-inch, 22 gauge, silver plated brass head pins. They have a paddle on, and I did use the looper tool, and then I used my round nose pliers to fix the loops because they never close right on the looping plier for me. The one thing I noticed, which I thought was interesting, is if you start on one end, your eye is always at the top, right? So when you get over to here, there is no eye, there's only the paddle. So I actually just used a regular eye pin here, made a loop, hooked it onto here, and then made that loop hook onto the porcelain bead up here. And the porcelain beads just have 2 more of the topaz, and I did not do any wire wrapping on them. And then this chain is 3 inches on each side. So this is a little bit longer dainty necklace. If you know a better way to do that, let me know. That's the first time I've ever made that design. And I just used a lobster claw clasp from my stash, and 4 of the jump rings from the kit again. So I made that necklace, and then these earrings to go with it, and these are again from the March Bargain Bead Box. The head pins for my stash. These are the topaz bicones, of course, from the kit. And yeah, so actually you would lay them this way, and then they'll be opposite. They'll flow opposite. And let's see, the only other thing I made, which I'm probably going to take apart, is a spinny ring with one of the steel blue, but instead of the ring spinning, the beads spins. But I don't really like beads, rings that have the beads stick up so high, so I'm probably going to take that apart. But yeah, that's it. I made 3 necklaces with matching earrings and 1 bracelet with matching earrings. 1 bead woven bracelet. So I hope you like that. Oh, what, and I already showed you, I think, what I have left. So I have quite a bit left. Plus, I haven't touched the other blue goldstone yet because they weren't picked for this mashup. I didn't use the pendant, the bead caps, the 2-piece glass cylinder beads. Mine were the bright red, and I have a plan for those actually. I did use some of the jump rings, didn't use the scrolled oval beads. The crimp tubes, I did use like 3 of them. I messed 1 totally up and used 2 just on the leather. Didn't use the clamshells or the tiger tail yet. So I have a lot more I can do, but I have to move on to some other things for now. So I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Erica of By Clover and Crown, for letting me participate, and be sure to check her out and Tapping Flamingo, and I think Metal Scrap and Chick is playing along this month too. And I will see you again later with probably more makes sometime between now and before the next box comes out. And also I'll be back next month with Erica from By Clover and Crown, I think it is. And if I'm saying that wrong, my apologies. The link will be down below the video. Alright everyone, have a great day. Bye for now.